Hi, friends. Welcome to the Stamper Studio and welcome to New in the Studio. My name is Lisa Schmidt and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am always excited to be here with you. Make sure you check in, let us know you're here because we'd love to know that. Today I'm going to show you something that is coming out on May 6th is when you can order it. If you want to order it right away, just become a demonstrator and we'll get you started. You can get it ordered right away, but
you can order it beforehand.
Yeah, right. So this is called Sweet Jar. And a while ago we had something with jar, and I just think there is so much that I can do with this that's going to be really fun. I'm just going to do two things with it tonight, but Sweet Jar, and it has, it's got the jar, of course, and it's got this little piece, which I will show you what that is. To me, it looked like jelly beans, but it's actually chocolate chip cookies, and these are the chocolate chips. And then this one I'll show you also, and this is a shamrock, but I thought maybe it could be a flower, like a pansy, maybe. And then there's candles, and the light, the candle is lit up. At first I saw this one inside. I'm like, why are there watermelon seeds? I kept looking at it. I don't see any watermelon seeds. Anyway, and then there's hearts. So very, very fun. Happy birthday, miss you bunches, a little treat for you. This one is kind of cool because this is sending a little blank your way. It's actually one stamp. So it leaves a little gap. You know how sometimes you're trying to get things straight. Well, that's already a stamp like that. So you could pop in one of these other things. And then it comes with a punch so that you can punch out the jar, which is pretty cool. So my head was exploding with lots and lots of ideas, but we're going to go ahead and start with Daffodil Delight and just our standard half sheet. And then I am using, let me grab a couple papers here to show you. I am using for my table, for my table, I'm going to use this little piece of brown kind of wood, and that comes from Country Woods Designer Series paper. This is in the current, it's also in the new catalog. So all these wood grains that are so very fun are around for another year, which is great, at least, probably just 1 year. And then the other piece I'm going to use is, this is going to be my little tablecloth. Can you come closer, Dave?
Hey, Sandy. Hey, Mary. Hey, Tina.
Tina, sorry to have missed you this weekend. So sorry. So this little is going to be my little tablecloth, and that piece is from another set that is staying around, and that is the Floral Delight. The paper is, shoot, all of a sudden I'm like, is the paper staying? I know the stamp set is staying. Okay, now I'm questioning myself, but the stamp set for sure is staying, and I'm hoping the paper is staying too because it's so pretty. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. But because I thought, well, what does a jar sit on? A jar sits on a table. In this case, a table. Yeah. Dave and I are both feeling better, which is awesome because
we were
not fun. Oh my goodness. And it's just working its way through the rest of the family. And I notice I'm a little over my edge here, so I'm just going to trim that off. And then this is my little tablecloth. So I'm going to put the tablecloth right there in the middle. And it's dangling over a little bit over the edge. I was looking for a red check, and I don't have a red check, but I was like, okay, well, let's find another tablecloth then. So I want to get that kind of centered there, just like that. Okay, and now I'm ready to put this piece on my card. So this is Very Vanilla that I'm using. I often use white, and I thought, let's branch out and use Very Vanilla instead. I know, woo, that's a lot. Okay, so there's my table. Let's set that on my table aside. I am going to, all of a sudden I was like, oh yes, it's big enough. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my jar. So I'm going to stamp my jar in Early Espresso. And then I'll go ahead and put put the chocolate chip cookies inside. How many of you love chocolate chip cookies? I love homemade chocolate chip cookies so much. All right, so I'm going to put my jar. There it is. Just a little jar, just one size. Oopsie. The last time we had a jar, it had several sizes in it. And I wonder if I forgot my crumb cake, love. I feel like I forgot crumb cake. Dave's going to go get it for me. Ink. Yes. All right. And then these are going to be the chocolate chips that sit right on top. I think I'm going to I'll do the chocolate chips first this time. Again, doing that in early espresso. Just wait till you see how it works so well. Oh, here he comes. I'm going to wait. Sometimes I feel like I can't hold it if I have too much or if I have not enough to hold on to. And so here's my cookies. Don't they look like jelly beans? They look like jelly beans. Okay, I tried to color them. See how it's orange? Because I thought, well, I want to make jelly beans. Can I color them? And no, it didn't work. So don't color your. I used the Stampin' Blends and it did not. But as chocolate chip cookies, they're adorable. Look how fun it is. Come on. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so there's our little chocolate chip cookies in the jar. If it were our house, there would not be very many in the jar because we would both be eating them, right?
Sure.
Sure. I'm not going to make any, so. We got a lot of Easter things happening. We don't need anything more. All right, another paper I want to show you that is brand new is, because I'm going to use it for the lid on here, is this silver, it's not just silver, Flower Garden foils. So it is, there's 2 of each sheet in different patterns. So I think you can, without me holding it up. Yeah, so this one has flowers. This one has this little pattern. Okay, and then I've got the same in pink and the same in a red. So 2 each of them. And I'm going to use, maybe I'll use this other one this time. I used this on the other one that I made, so I'll just use this one. And instead of cutting a whole thing out, just kind of strip off. Because you know what? The lid is at the top. So you don't need to put in a whole big piece of paper. I don't need to do the whole thing. I just want to do the little lid at the top. So there's my lid. So cute. So cute. Look at that. Pop my little lid on. It's darling. All right, let's grab our card. And I'm going to put my little jar of cookies on the table right here. And let's pop those up with a strip. And I was thinking also this could be used as, it would be a great shaker card because you could put something inside the jar. And I was like, okay, that's another broadcast for another time because I can only do so much in one, right? All right, today's Monday, right? How is your Monday, friends? How's it going? How'd your week start? All right, so I'm gonna put this on the table, like about there. And then this piece, this little lid, if you put dimensionals underneath, you can't put it on top of the jar because this is already on a dimensional. So you can't set it. I just want to set it right here. So what I'm actually going to do is just put adhesive on that little piece right there, the little top part of the jar. And then I'm just going to stick that on. What I was trying to say is if you put a dimensional on, it can't be so low that it overlaps this, because then it's like double, triple in one spot, but not all of them. So let's just pop that on like that, because you wouldn't be able to see the top of the jar anyway. All right, I'm going to get that straight. Because of the glue, you can just move it. I'm going to stamp the words on here. Set that aside. And I'm going to use that one that's like a double. I like this one. I don't know if I've ever seen a stamp like this, that they leave a gap for the word, which is so handy because like I said, sometimes it's hard to get your words lined up. But this, boom, look at that. Love it. Sending a blank your way, and we're going to send a surprise, sweetness. So what I wanted to do is, because my card has the Daffodil Delight, I wanted to stamp this in Daffodil Delight. It doesn't show up well enough. So instead, I decided to go like this, just put a little yellow behind it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp in the, see if that's big enough. Nope, a little bit longer. In the early espresso on top of the yellow. And the other card I made, I stamped first and then I covered it. So let's see what we got here. Oops, that is not good. Sorry. Let's try again. One more time. Actually, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to stamp this first. Let's do it all backwards and see if I can make that better. Let that dry for a moment. I'm going to stamp this on top and bottom. Wow, I can see that so much better. So that is the way to do it, instead of trying to fit the little one inside. And then I am going to go over sweetness, because now I know exactly how long it is. I did that on the other one, but I thought, well, maybe if I color it first, but I think coloring after is better. There we go. So I can still pick up that yellow Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to use our 1 3/4 inch punch. I knew that. As soon as I did that, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm too high. Oh, well.
Bunch?
Nope. We'll just make it. I'll make it work. All right. So I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to put some of these, which these are the adhesive back dots for days. It is a last chance item, and they're $6.40 as a last chance item. So I think they're adorable, and I think that would be really cute too. These are so small. I don't use the small ones very often. Here we go. I like the bigger ones. I like to cover more space easily and quickly. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to use this. I might take your pick and pop those off. I have to say, making this, I'm like, ooh, I do kind of want to make chocolate chip cookies after looking at that. All right, so I'm going to pop that up there.
So instead you made bread.
Yeah, I did make bread today. And I am going to cover that up with the bigger one of these. Ooh. Come on, it's like it's alive. I'm going to put one right there. Boom, covered it up. And we'll put another one here. And I'm going to put a small one up at the top. I'm having a hard time picking them up. Maybe I don't have enough of the putty out. Let me try that. There we go. What do you know? I don't like that one up there. It's kind of crowded. Maybe now it looks like a smiley face. Oh, well. Probably what I would do is just re-stamp this. But isn't that cute? What do you think? So
very cute.
Cute. Okay, inside, I'm not going to do it on this one, but I did do it on the other one I made. A couple things different, not a big deal, but different was I made my strip bigger, and this is what I had left over. I'm like, well, that's fine. It can hang off the tablecloth. But look at inside. Are you ready? Look how cute it is. So I stamped the cookies, and the ones I cut out are the ones that are the whole ones. So these two, and then this one. So I just fussy cut those out to get that little I think that's fun. All right, David Schmid, do you have something for us?
I do.
Because I'm going to re-stamp this while you're talking because it's bugging.
There we go. All right, let's make sure. Yep, there it comes. All right, so as you know, always go to thestamperstudio.com for anything you possibly could need. When you come in there, you can order your products. As we keep saying, on May 6th, you're going to want to jump in there and get on those new online exclusives, get on the new things from the catalog, all going live May 6th. Now, also coming up is Card Cafe. Have no fear, you have not missed April's Card Cafe yet, because with Easter, it's happening a little bit later this month. So April 26th, a week from Saturday, is Card Cafe here in our Minnetonka studio. You get to come and make 10 cards. You pick 5 designs, make 2 of each. $25, an amazing, fun morning of fun, laughter, creativity, and just a good time. So sign up for Card Cafe at thestamperstudio.com.
All right. Just had enough time to get that done. All right, I'll put that on after. I'll put that there. That'll make that better. And then I can put those 3 yellow dots more like this. Oh, one more thing I have to show you on this one. Hold the phone. Dave's holding up his phone. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, I want to show you. I don't know if you noticed on this one. Look at that. I put clear acetate on top of it, or a window sheet. And I did bring it over because I went back to get it. That was when I pulled my microphone, Dave. That's what I was getting. So
What were you getting?
Just the
Window sheet?
Oh, here it is, right here. Okay. So this actually, yes, a window sheet is really what I wanted to use, but this is the top part that I take off the stamps. So again, that is kind of thin and it won't punch. I wasn't able to get it to punch all the way through, but I punched as much as I could. Okay, I didn't punch that much. And then I just used that as my outline. I mean, I'm sure there's a better way. Actually, I just thought of a better way is to punch it on paper and then trace it maybe would be a better way than trying to punch it a little bit. But that is what I did. And then just tucked it under the little lid. These are not cutting very well for this kind of paper. There we go. But I was like, wait, it's a jar. In my mind, jars need to be glass. Maybe it's a plastic jar. Anyway, and then just tuck this underneath there and glue it on. I literally glued the edge with our multi-purpose glue, with this glue, and you can't see it at all. So I tested it on a piece and you couldn't see the glue at all. So I just want to show you that. All right, let's make one more card using a different stamp from here. So we used the chocolate chip cookies. I want to use the birthday candles, and I want to use our new In Colors because they are so very fun. So the first color that I'm going to use as my base is Timid Tiger. Timid Tiger. Say that 3 times fast. Timid Tiger, which I did not cut very well, but I will work to get that better. Timid Tiger. Oh, what's going on here? That's all right. Timid Tiger. There we go. I'll just have to cut the bottom and the edge. All right, let's just do that with paper cutter. Clearly, I thought I cut it straight, but I did not cut it very straight. So let's take a little bit off that edge. Good enough. Okay. And then some of you are like, yeah, I know what you're going to do when you're done. You're going to, yeah. I'm going to make, I think we'll maybe go this way and make something using the birthday candles. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the jar again. This time I'm going to use just Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp the jar on this piece right here. Where is it? The stamp is right, the punch is in front of me. Here it is, the jar. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp that. I'll just stamp that because I'm going to punch it out anyway. So, oh, that's what that other paper was for. Never mind. Just talking to myself. Don't mind me. So I'm going to go ahead and punch out the jar. And I think I want more than one jar this time. So I'm going to stamp one here. And I'm going to stamp one here. I got 3 jars. We'll see. I might only use 2. We'll have to see. But we've got them if we want them. Oh, I guess I'll just use 2. Did you see what I did? I punched right into that.
I did see that.
Actually, that'll sit behind it anyway. So, okay. I'm going to use 3. There we go. Because the jars are going to layer on top of each other. So this one will just be behind. Okay. There are my jars. I'm going to cover up my ink. Okay. So inside the jars, I don't want to glue this on yet because what I'm going to do is take the 3 colors, Darling Duckling, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger, and I die cut out circles from these 3 sizes of circles from Stylish Shapes. Love, 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 Stylish Shapes. Also cut out the banner so we could use that for the happy birthday. So I've got the banner and I cut out all these fun circles. And I thought we'll make a background using these because the first thing I went to get when I thought of this is I went to get a designer series paper, and I thought, oh, that opens a whole nother thing. So I'm going to save that for Saturday. So let's just go ahead and make a kind of a fun design using these. I always cut 2 at a time when I'm using these Stylish Shape dies because they work great. So we're just going to try to be random. There's 3 sizes.
I like that. I'm going to try to be random.
I'm going to try to be random. So as I was die cutting this and thinking about this, the other thing I thought of that could be fun is literally just using your dauber and putting circles in the jar and then like out of the jar. I just thought that'd be kind of fun. Random is difficult for me. All right. So stick this up here off the edge. Always want some off. I'll stick this one up here like that. Get another pink. It's not a pink. What's the color? Strawberry Slush. Whoop. Maybe down here. I think I'm doing pretty good at random. It's not easy for me. I am trying to make triangles. I don't know if you saw that, noticed that, but that is what I'm trying to do is get some colors in triangles just seem to look good. All right, let's see. I need one more, maybe an orange. It's not orange, it's Timid Tiger. And Timid Tiger is my main color, so maybe I will just go with 2 of those. I just need something here, which I'm going to just scooch this one over a little bit and then put it right there. Put something in the corner there. Maybe another of the Duckling, Darling Duckling. All right, let's stick that there. Jar is going to be in the middle. We'll see. We could always add if we need to. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my paper cutter and cut off the edges of these colors that I don't want these circles. A little closer. And just pop those off. And I just made a really cute background. Okay. And this one like that. I thought the jar could also be used for a vase for flowers. So there's just so much, right? Okay, let's go ahead and put our jar. Our jar is going to sit here. And in our jar, before I put it on, we need to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it with some candles. So the candles come in a bunch of 3. Where am I? Right there. A bunch of 3 and then 1. They come. So I have 3 candles and then 1 separate. So makes it a little tricky with my challenging, like, okay, but I want every other one to be a different color. Can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my 3 like here. Okay, cute. And I'm going to stamp my Strawberry Slush over here like that. And then I'm going to stamp my Darling Duckling. Ooh, you can tell they're new. They're like stiff. I'm going to move some of this off so I can just get this clean. I don't want to ruin my first time using a pad, make it like dirty. Don't want to do that. Okay. Sometimes I'm like, just make sure it's clean all the way. See? Not all the way. All right. Okay. And now Darling Duckling with the single. Cute. and one right there. Okay. It's fun. I think it's really fun. So let's go ahead and put our little candle flames. I guess the flames are yellow, aren't they? I was going to do them in black. I guess they are yellow. So we'll do the Darling Duckling, but I think, so this is for the set of 3, which is that set right there. I think it needs to be higher. Whatever. And then some are shining bright. Maybe if there's goes this way, maybe it's supposed to be, I don't know. I'm going to make 2 shining bright, maybe 3. Maybe all of them. Anyway, all right. So push that back. You can see how it would be kind of cute to do 2 or 3. I don't know. Maybe just 1. 1 is cute too. What do you think, Dave? Sometimes Dave's not watching. And so then when I ask him, he's like, what? Oh,
I know. Sorry.
that's okay. I just am going to do 1.
Friends, in case you're wondering, we have some space available for the May hosted weekend. So I just discounted it down to 150.
Oh, wow.
No, 140.
Even better. Yes, because you could layer some jars. I don't know. I'm just going to do the 1 jar. I was trying to do more, but I think that would look really pretty on a slimline card. If you did a slimline, then you could spread the jars out a little bit. We're just going to put this one. But you know what this needs? It needs a little background to sit on. Maybe not. All right. So there is the jar. You can tell I didn't make this one ahead of time. All good. All right. There's our jar. Something is not sticking. Oh, because I didn't peel it off. Details. There we go. All right. There's our jar. We need our lid. I'm going to stamp our lid in. Our jar is crooked. I'm going to stamp our lid in the strawberry slush because we can stamp a lid as well as punch one out. So let's go ahead and stamp one this time. Maybe the stamp is here. Or that's not it. Well, I don't know. Maybe
What
not.
are we looking for?
I am looking for a little stamp, but oh, here it is. Gee, I wonder why I couldn't find it because it wasn't on a block. That's why. I'm going to stamp my lid and then I'm going to punch it out. And then we decided strawberry slush on a small piece of, not that small, piece of white cardstock. Just stamp my lid. Got a lot going on there on that one. And now I can punch it out. And that's kind of fun because my lid and different things can match. There we go. 1 strawberry slush lid.
There we go.
And I think we have to leave it open because if we close it, the candles would go out, right? That's
For sure.
like precise brain saying, well, you know, there would be no oxygen, so then we couldn't have the candles going. And I'm going to grab some of these little dimensionals like that and have our lid kind of off to the side here. And, you know, I don't know if you notice if you go back and look at the pictures I post, but sometimes, oh, you know what? I'm going to lean it against it right there. Sometimes, I don't like that.
Sometimes.
What?
All the time.
What am I going to say?
You change things?
Yeah, sometimes I change things before I post them. Like this. This really needs like a background here, but maybe. I don't know. Okay. We're going to stamp our happy birthday from here. Sweet jar. Happy birthday. I really like the fonts that are used here. I didn't realize how much of a font person I am, but I really do like fun fonts. So, all right. So how was Monday? Want to hear how was your Monday? All right. I'm going to stamp it in the Timid Tiger. Happy birthday. It's crooked. Turn it over. I actually die cut 2 just in case. Sometimes when you're, and still crooked. Sometimes when you're using a new stamp, it's hard to know. Okay, but I'm going to tell you a tip right now. Part of the reason it's hard is because this block is really, yes, you look at this and go, oh, perfect size. No, it's too small because I can't see above and below it. So it's really not the right size for what I'm trying to do. So let's try it on here. And you'll be able to see, oh, now I can see everything. Do you see how that's better? There we go. It's still crooked. What the heck? Maybe it looks like it's wavy, but anyway, happy birthday. I'm going to put it right there. And I'll take an edge. I'll take an edge, please. There we go. And then we'll stick the whole thing on the other one. And we're going to put some other dots on. Oops, which side am I using? The other side. Stick that on there. And one more piece. There we go. Okay. So I had been thinking go across, but then I'm going to cover too many of the candles. So let's go ahead and stick this on. And then these other ones that I already cut and punched out, those you just put in the box so you can use them next time. Timid Tiger card is right here. This way. This way. All right, that's cute. That would have been nice if I had layered it also. Sorry, this really is going to bug me if I don't fix it now, and that's a bigger fix. So I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this.
Troubles over there?
Not at all. Not one bit. Make sure it's opening the right way. There we go. And I can see, I think I need one more something right there. So we'll stick that. Oh, actually, I remember because we're going to use these. So interesting to me that these two colors match perfectly. I do have gems that match this perfectly. Of course, I have new in color gems. They are not over here right now, but I do have them. So, and I'm not going to make Dave get up and get them. Well, maybe. Just kidding.
What do you need?
Nothing. I'll put them on after and you can look at them because the colors aren't exactly the right colors. So the in color gems, if you want to go get them, sure.
In
He's
color
busy.
gems.
He's busy. He's very busy. Let's see. I want to add any more right here. I think I do. I want one overlapping. All right. Last comment we have, Sandy likes the window sheet. Yeah. And I think if you use the actual window sheet, it's thicker. I'm curious to know if I could be able to punch it. I couldn't find mine. So therefore, we'll see if you can find that or not. Okay. I think it's cute, that little jar. What do you think? Do you think it needs to be matted on something, or you think it looks good just like this with some candles? Let me know what you think. Here comes the gems while I close these up. Oh boy, that's not okay. That's over there.
I didn't know which ones were looking for.
No worries. I don't think they're in here. That's all right. If you want to know how I store my accessories, I put them in 2 little boxes in a bigger box and put them in little envelopes. There we go. You'll have to look at the, I can't think. You'll have to look at the comments to see the full picture, and so you can see the rest of it. All right, friends. Thanks for bearing with me on this one. It is this. I just love this, don't you? The cookies. How fun is that? And if I can figure out how to color them and make them jelly beans, I will let you know. I will see you on Saturday with a beautiful, very, very pretty floral stamp set. Floral suite. The whole thing. It's got stamps, dies, paper, etc. So, all right, friends. Have a great week. Happy stamping.